Hello everybody, how are we doing today? Let me know if the audio is okay and if you can even hear me, please. More importantly, can you see me, I suppose? Alright, thank you, Corvette Jim. I'm seeing it sounds good. Well, it's amazing. I just switched over to the actual YouTube stream, what you guys are seeing. And there's quite a lag between what I'm doing here and what's showing up there. So it's interesting. It makes the communication with the chat room much more challenging. And I don't see that when I'm doing it the other way. This is really interesting. There's quite a bit of lag. So I'm going to not look at that because it'll confuse me. There we go. So I appreciate you guys coming out today. It was very short notice. Let's see, Philadelphia Piper. Hello, Philadelphia Piper. Boris the Piper. Good to see you, buddy. Corvette Jim, Boris in Underwood, hello there, and what's up, mate? Good to see you too. Glad it's looking good. I'll ask you about the pipe slides in a minute. Liberty Gaines, good to see you. Signal Man Tony, how's it going, Tony? Good to see you, buddy. And I think I hit everybody, at least everybody that's on my screen right now. So that little pipe slideshow in the beginning, the reason that's there is to allow me to not have to sit here and wait for the system to catch up when I start talking, but it's also there to give you something to do while you're waiting, because I watch, sometimes I'll be ready early. It's rare, but I'll be ready early, and I can see that like 10 minutes before you'll see like two people come in and then one person leaves and then another person comes in, and yeah, I don't know who they are. You just see numbers going up and down. And I always thought, well, if there was at least something going on, they might be a little bit more inclined to hang around until the show starts. So, did anybody find that annoying? Did anybody not like the music or anything like that? Is it too loud, too soft, whatever? Dryfly Fisher 11, doing fine. How are you, buddy? Luke Reisner, how's it going, Luke? Rob Austin, hello there, buddy. All right, sounds good. Looks like I'm not getting any. No one stood up to say I hate the pipe slideshow. I mean, it may be something else as well. And thank you for the compliment there, Luke. But the truth is, I did almost nothing to make that work. I have a folder with pictures of all the pipes that I've worked on, and I just kind of dragged those into a slideshow folder. I had to decrease I had to compress them a bit because the program doesn't like to work with over, I think it's like 28 megabytes of file or something like that. So I had to compress them to get more slides to show, but that was all the work I did. What's up, mate? It's saying it's really wet and windy in Scotland this evening, the tail end of one of our hurricanes. Well, sorry about that. Hey, Mark in Rhode Island, how you doing, my friend? It's wet here today. It's been raining. It hasn't been like raining really. It's just every once in a while it gets wet. You get a sprinkle, everything gets wet, and then it stops. David Dixon, hello there. Good afternoon to you, sir. Philadelphia Pipers having some Country Squire bag end from the Middle Earth Series and a 7LE 311 KS. Very nice, Philadelphia Piper. I love my 311 KS. It's a really nice pipe. Oh, today I have, this is a Tim Thorpe pipe. It's, I think he called it a canted apple. I can never remember what the shape is, but clearly Danish school inspired shape. and I'm smoking Rustica. And I got to admit, I'm down to like maybe four flakes of Rustica left, and I didn't maintain it properly, and it's getting kind of crispy. So it's burning fast. What's up, mate? Is smoking some St. Bruno. Philadelphia Piper says he's trying to follow along with Padre. Is Padre Piper doing something simultaneously? Oh, it's on BRTV. Okay, it's not. I hope there's nobody trying to live stream at the same time. So I wouldn't want to. I got you, Philadelphia Piper. You're trying to follow along with Padre's series on BRTV in terms of the Country Squire blends. Okay, sorry, it took me a minute to put that together. Now I realized just now that I never thought to check and see if there were any live streams scheduled for this hour. I usually do pay attention to that, but wouldn't want to step on anybody. Luke Reisner's got a cigar. Should I guess what that cigar is, Luke? I think I could probably guess it. And Liberty Gaines is having some Chatham Manor. It's a nice Carter Hall match. So it has been a heck of a morning. It was one of these mornings where I looked at my schedule and I said, wow, I'm going to have all kinds of time today. I got one email that set off a chain reaction, and I tell you, this COVID stuff, managing people through this is not trivial. And you gotta be very sensitive, because people are scared. It doesn't matter whether they should be scared or not. They are. And you got to manage them, and you got to have them working together in the same space as other people, and find ways to do that safely, but also that make them comfortable. And there are times when you just can't do it. You always get the safety part right, at least based on whatever science we are believing this week. But the comfort part sometimes has to take a back seat, and that's hard. And so I was dealing with an issue like that all morning, and I hope, it's somebody that I care about, and I want them to be comfortable and happy at work, and I hope we've come to some sort of an agreement that'll allow them to be comfortable and happy. But it's always fun. Let's see, Bob Barnes, HH Vintage Syrian Latakia. I'm told that is very good. I actually have a tin of that given to me by my friend Eric, not Blue Collar Pipe Smoker, another Eric, that I should open and taste. I should do that as a live stream someday. Me having a first impressions of a blend that's mostly Latakia. Ah, Luke, very nice. That's not the one I would have guessed. So. Liberty Founder Series, Thomas Jefferson. I'm not familiar with those, but they're definitely something I'm going to look for. Rob Austin's got C&D Winchester in a Briarworks 9mm. Very nice, Rob. .777, how you doing, buddy? Smokers Haven Union Square in a Nording. Smokers Haven's Smoke. I thought GLP makes Union Square. Is that another blend from Smokers Haven? Simon was on 2 hours before me. Well, I hope he's finished by now. Well, Bob, I hope that's true, but I really don't like Latakia, so. Oh, good, Luke. I'll look forward to that. Look forward to your video. So this is a test, and the reason I needed to do another test, this is getting hard to light. I don't know if I'm at the bottom of the bowl or if there's just something some moisture in the middle of all the dry kindling. The reason I'm doing this again is that the live stream chat did not save last time. And you know, that's the best part of the darn live stream. So I'd hate to, there's no point in me leaving a video like this up if you can't read the chat, because otherwise it looks like I'm sitting here talking to myself, and that's not good. So hopefully, I can't find any setting. I've got the settings that say allow live stream chat to repeat and all that. I got everything is set up properly as far as I can tell, so I'm guessing it was just some sort of YouTube glitch. So we'll try it again. So if you see this video disappear, you know, tomorrow or something, it's because the chat never came up. It usually takes I'd say a few hours for the chat to kind of process and get connected to the video. So if you immediately try to watch this after it's done, you won't see the chat, but it eventually does come. Philadelphia Piper, that's I hadn't thought of that, but it is very Paul the Piper-esque, the intro. Thought Paul had taken over the channel. So let's see. Oh, it's a local brick and mortar brand. Gotcha, dot. And Boris just finished Dunhill's Dark Flake and lit up HU Tobacco's Director Cut. Very nice. Dude Reviews, hello there. Good to see you. So let's see, we're 12 minutes in. I've complained about work. I've told you why I'm testing this stuff again. And I've talked about a lot of Kia. What else can we do here? Rich B1, thank you for asking. So first off, the Pipe Club is at 8 p.m. Eastern. It's every Friday. One Friday is virtual Pipe Club. The next Friday is a guest, usually. I did originally have Jeremy Reeves from C&D scheduled for this coming Friday, but unfortunately Jeremy had to go to Louisiana to pick out Perique. He was disappointed and apologetic, and we are going to reschedule him. But this Friday, we've got Everett Young has stepped in to fill the void, and I greatly appreciate that. Everett, if you don't follow Everett on YouTube, he's a fellow YouTube YTPC member, and he's going to do just fine. It's going to be very interesting to talk to Everett. He's got a lot of cool stuff to talk about. So I hope you'll join us anyway, and I'll keep you posted on when I can reschedule Jeremy. It's a bit of an issue now because we've got a lot of people scheduled out to November and then the holidays and all of that. So I'm hoping I can get him in this year, but that's just the way things worked out. And like I told Jeremy when he was apologizing to me, I said, "Hey, Perique's important, you know." You go take care of that. We're fine. Couch, how you doing? Having some Amphora English blend. How do you like that, Couch? I tried it. I found it to be a perfectly nice, very mild English that I didn't want to smoke because it was in English. I know some people that really hate it, and I know some people that really like it. Uh-oh. There we go. Sorry you're having that trouble. What's up, mate? Is anybody else having dropout problems? I mean, if you are, it's probably not my fault. It's probably in YouTube land. Dry Fly Fisher, we're gonna next week we'll talk about religion and politics. Swaggy Man Piper 1926 is having Prince Albert in his matches pipe. Very nice, buddy. Kegel Jeff, how you doing, my friend? Yeah, Liberty Gaines, I'm really looking forward to it. He's a great guy. I really enjoyed just the short chat I had with him. And he was, I explained to him what we're doing, and he was, very interested in joining us. It wasn't any question. And I get the impression from talking to him briefly that he's not thinking of this as like a PR thing for C&D. He just likes getting together with pipe smokers and talking about tobacco. So it's going to be a lot of fun. Texas Piper, good to see you. Signal Man Tony is negative. Negative on the dropout, I hope. Couch, I'm glad to hear that. Glad you're enjoying it. Okay, and no problems from Dude Reviews, Boris the Piper, Mark in Rhode Island. So we seem to be okay. Sorry, what's up, mate? It must be something on your end or in your, between you and YouTube that's causing the problem. Dry Fly Fisher 11, don't do that, please. Yes, Perique is important, Rich. And I enjoyed the poplar camp that I tried. I really enjoyed it. I put it away because I think it's going to age really nicely, and that Virginia is going to become more prominent. So I'm going to leave it for a while and try it again. Thanks, Tony. Mark, I need a plaque made with that quote on it from Linus. That's fantastic. Kegel Jeff is nursing a hangover with Haunted Bookshop and a 7LE Silver. Well, that ought to do it. This isn't really information I should probably be giving out, but I've never actually had a hangover, and it's strange because when I was a kid I drank much more than I should have, and certainly was in situations where I should have had a hangover the next day, and I always just pop out of bed and go. It's never been a problem for me, and I wonder sometimes if that might in some way be related to my nicotine tolerance, where I don't even know that there's nicotine in a blend. But if I had a hangover, Jeff, I think Haunted Bookshop would be the treatment of choice. Yeah, Rich, I do believe it's going to be a great smoke with some age on it. Philadelphia Piper, that's a great question, and certainly something I'll talk to Jeremy about when we get him on. The good thing about Perique is that it takes a couple of years, is my understanding, to go from the plant to the product that gets blended. So there's Perique, but is there growing Perique to replace what's going to be used? And that I don't know. Jim, you're working today? Are you in the park again? Daniel Tobias, hello Daniel, great to see you. Show off. No, Jeff, I'm just telling you what happened. Okay, what's up, mate? Sorry it's not working out for you, buddy, but I really appreciate you dropping in. You have a good one. Armchair Piper, how you doing, Ed? Great to see you. Favorite park? Gotcha, Jim. I'm going to try to light this one more time, and then it's getting tipped out and replaced with Haunted Bookshop. It might. I don't know why this is so hard to keep lit. It was very dry. Bill Sutherland, hello there, my friend. Jay Mouton, how you doing, Jason? Good to see you. For guys just joining us, we're talking about absolutely nothing. I'm trying to keep dry rustica lit, which is sort of like trying to keep water wet. Well, thank you, Daniel. Go take care of those sheep. Always great to see you. Couch, smoking some Clan. That'll be fantastic. I think I still have a little bit of Clan left. Oh gosh. Chad, thank you for being there in the background. Much appreciated, my friend. Swaggy Man Piper, no. My garden has crashed and I don't know why. Everything was growing fantastic. I got a couple of cucumbers, no large tomatoes, some cherry tomatoes, and then just overnight everything just started to die. So the tomatoes are half dead. The cucumbers are probably coming to the end of their season. The only things that are flourishing are the peppers, and I love peppers, so I'm glad they're flourishing, and the burley, which thank God for that. And I've talked to quite a few people that have had a similar story this year, that their tomatoes and cucumbers have just crashed suddenly. So I don't know what's going on in this area, but not a good year for tomatoes. In fact, our CSA farm just yesterday said that they won't be having any more tomatoes this year, and normally their tomatoes go well through September, but everything just shut down. Ben Greenman is going to visit LJ Peretti today and asking for recommendations. I would highly recommend their is it Cuban blend? The oldest one that they make. I think it's called Cuban blend. Very good. Armchair Piper, I don't know. I'd love to do this weekly, but I know my schedule isn't going to allow it. So it's if it happens again, other than testing software, it's going to be a somewhat random thing, and I'll try to at least put out the announcement early in the morning, and that's about the best I can do. Dude Reviews, do I have any thoughts on spun cut tobaccos? Not really. I think you're referring to things like Three Nuns or Luxury Bullseye Flake or Scudo, which are spun ropes that are then cut into coins. They're fine. They're just a form of flake. Chad's having breakfast. Well, I appreciate you sharing your breakfast with us, buddy. Anniversary Flake from Peretti is a recommendation from Jay Mouton. I've not had that one. The other one that I would definitely recommend from them, other than the Cuban blend, is, and they don't make it anymore, so I don't even know why I'm bringing this up, but they used to have something called, I think it was called Scottish Flake, and it was a very dark pressed Virginia flake that was infused with red wine. And I used to joke that it was like McClellan accidentally ordered red wine vinegar instead of their normal vinegar, and I did that just to make the McClellan people mad. But that was fantastic. It was a really nice sweet Virginia, and that red wine flavor really complemented it well. I'm not a Virginia guy, but that's one that I really enjoyed. Cuban mixture, yeah, I agree, Couchy. When I buy it, I usually buy 8 ounces or a pound, and it doesn't last very long. That's good. So Jason's reporting that the hurricane didn't get near the creek fields, so that's good news. Thanks for asking that, Boris. Herferville, hello there, guys. How you doing? Ben Greenman, the 150th, is that one of their products, the Peretti product? Dry Fly Fisher 11 is asking, I'm going to get rid of this rustica, just not burning, is asking if I notice a difference between the CD tin and bulk equivalents. That's a interesting question. For the most part, no. But to be honest, I have not smoked a lot of Cornell and Deal tins, but I have had a few. What I do think is true with all of Cornell and Deal blends is that, you know, they're not producing enough for 5 years. They're pretty much making this stuff on demand, so it greatly benefits from a little bit of time in a jar just to meld a little. And the nice thing about getting the tins is that it very likely is a bit older. You know, it's probably sat on the shelf for a while, so you're getting it somewhat pre-melded. And there's some blends where that's really important. Haunted Bookshop is one of them, in my opinion. I think Haunted Bookshop is much better, even just 6 weeks after it arrives, than when it first arrives. So that's the difference I'd suggest, but I don't have enough experience with the tins to be able to definitively say that's the case. So Jay Mouton's agreeing with Ben. So is it? Oh, the anniversary flake. Okay, gotcha. Now I'm gonna have to try that then. Oh no, wait a minute. Are you referring to the McClellan anniversary flake? Because I'm not gonna try that. I'm sorry to be dense about this, but I don't know what you guys are talking about, but I'm very interested to find out. AA Pipe Man, good to see you, my friend. And Dallas Wynn. Yeah, you're not late. You're just in time for you there, Dallas. Good to see you. Rich B1, some Revelation Match in a Cob. That's a blend that's made for a Cob, and I mean that in a good way. There's full dottle. I thought that was going to happen. I do that a lot. I have another YouTube account that I use for other things. So I've got my CaneRod Piper account, which is all pipe stuff, and then I got another one that I use for like machine videos and things like that. And I sometimes will comment from that account accidentally, and nobody knows who the heck I am. Or I'll answer comments on my account from that account. It's easy to do. Yeah, what I was saying is that there are some blends that just seem to be made for a Cob, and Revelation Match is one of them, in my opinion, and of course Carter Hall. Mark saying a touch of humidity improves Haunted Bookshop. Yeah, it could be. Shandy Gaff, yeah, that's another one that, and it's not like it's terrible before it's in the jar, and it's not like you got to age it for a year. It's just a little bit of time to let things meld, because that tobacco you're getting was made very recently, and that's something I'm looking forward to asking Jeremy about. You know, what's sort of the average time between when their tobacco is blended in bulk and when it would actually arrive to be shipped by somebody like Smoking Pipes. I'm guessing it's not very long. Chris Wilson, hello, first time here. Well, welcome, my friend. Good to see you. Todd A, how you doing, Todd? I am repacking the same pipe because I do that, and I'm repacking it with Haunted Bookshop because I'm tired of trying to smoke Rustica. Kegel Jeff, is that the who is it that makes the plum cake? There's Germain plum cake, and then there's, is it McBaron? If it's the one with a lot of key in it, then that's, I've heard that as well, that it does need some time in the jar. There you go. Full Doddle's saying that he likes to rehydrate everything. I actually like my tobacco on the dry side. To me, it's a smoking thing. I mean, I don't want to have to spend time drying it and getting it lit and all that. I just like to stuff it in the pipe and go. And I've never, to me, if C&D made their blends wetter, I'd just be paying for water. And I don't want to do that. But, everybody's got their own tastes and their own way of smoking. And if your way of smoking is different from mine, then it may be much more important to humidify it, like Dallas and Mark have pointed out. So it is the McBaron. Yeah, that stuff apparently does age quite a bit, really well. It melds really well if you put it in a jar for a while. Yeah, Shandy Gaff is a good one. I'd definitely put it on your list. It's unique and not unique like Gentleman Caller with the deer tongue is unique. It's very standard tobacco flavor, but the tobacco is just, there's something special about Shandy Gaff that I can't quite put my finger on it. Yeah, there are people on both sides of the dry tobacco fence. Now, one of the tobaccos, or I shouldn't say tobacco, but companies that I just will not smoke is Daughter and Ryan, because everything that I've had from them is very dry, and it's a very fine shag cut, and that stuff just burns like the dickens. So I've just sort of written off Daughters and Ryan, and maybe I shouldn't do that. Maybe I'm being unfair to them. But that's an example of one that I just think is way too dry, and I don't like to take the time to humidify it. Oh, Philadelphia Piper, that's going to be a treat. McBaron Plum Cake from 2015. Yeah, Chad, it's interesting. Shandy Gaff, I mean, I don't know what it is, but people describe it as salty and reminding them of the ocean. And it does. It's a very beach-like flavor, if that's a thing. Yeah, it might be good for blending, or yeah, definitely roll your own. I think it is essentially a roll your own tobacco, but I hate to write them off. And Mark Ryan, the guy behind Daughters and Ryan, is the only person. He saved Perique, Louisiana Perique. It was gone. It was the last farm that was growing it and processing it was going out of business, and Mark Ryan bought it and brought it back. Huh. I might need to do a flint replacement on live YouTube. That could be interesting, because this has been acting wonky today. There we go. Jeff Burke, hello. Thanks for joining us today. Jason suggesting a shag cut, roll it into marble-sized balls, and then pack it. That's an interesting idea, Jason. I'll definitely try that. I mean, when I smoke that fine shag cut stuff like Five Brothers or Samoy is another one, I find it's really important to pack it very tightly. But it sounds like you might have a method there where it's getting packed tightly, but you're still allowing enough air to circulate, and that might be worth a try. Yes, Couch. Ben was a big, or is a big fan of Shandy Gaff. And everybody's saying salty, and I don't know. I think the salty is not really a salt flavor, but I I don't want to argue over it. It definitely has a unique flavor. And like I said, it is very beach-like. Oh, Jason says that's how he smokes the Five Brothers as well. I'm going to try that next time I've got some, Jason. Thanks for the tip. It's a packing method I tried once. I think it was called the air pocket method. I think that's what it was called. Where you make a really tight ball of tobacco and put it in the pipe, let it expand, and then tap it down, but not all the way to the bottom. And the idea is that you'll have this space in the bottom of the pipe with nothing in it. And then you sort of gently pack the rest of the ball. That was interesting. It was a lot of trouble to get it to work, but it was an interesting packing method that seemed to always perform well, just didn't offer enough of a advantage over what I normally do to do it regularly. I guess they could put MSG in a couch. That's a possibility. Makes everything else taste better. Salt in the way of licking your lips after swimming in the ocean. That's an interesting way to put it, AA Pipe Man. Yeah, I get what you're talking about. I'm not trying to say that it's not salt, but it's hard to place for me. Yeah, dry fly fisher, that's the danger of YouTube. It leads to excessive tobacco and pipe buying. Was anybody eating lunch? Couch says that MSG is the LSD of the culinary world. That's interesting. Jim's having lunch. Good, good. I'm gonna have lunch right after this. I have no idea what I'm gonna have, but I'm gonna have lunch after this. It's Wednesday and my wife has been home since the weekend, so there should be some, actually I think she got home Thursday, so there should be leftovers. Let's see, leftover chicken, sounds good. Chick-fil-A, I don't know how people eat that stuff. Sorry, Philadelphia Piper, I hope you enjoy it. Leftover ribeye from last night. That's quite a lunch there, Jason. Club sandwich and Funyuns. There you go, Chris. Ham sandwich and a bag of chips. Gotcha, Chad. We just finished breakfast. And Boris has had supper. Yeah, the time zone differences will definitely impact on what you're eating. Yeah, Funyuns. So we've been, since this whole COVID thing started and I've been working from home, we started buying these large packs of, I forget what they're called, but they're little snack bags of like potato chips and Cheetos and Fritos and those kinds of things. You buy them to put in kids' lunches. And we've got a box in our garage that we put these in. And, you know, I try to sort of randomly draw from the box. I don't want to, I don't look, because I want to have something different every day when I do this. And I don't do it every day, but probably 3 or 4 times a week, when I'm having lunch, I'll get one of these bags of snacks. And I've never, and we've been doing this since March now, I've never had a bag of Funyuns. I've had, I think, pretty much everything else, ranging from like that Chex Mix stuff to Cheetos and Fritos and Doritos and regular potato chips, barbecue, everything you can imagine. But no Funyuns. And we'll be sitting watching TV at night, and my wife will say, I want a snack, do you want anything? No. And she'll go out to the garage, and she comes back in with a bag of Funyuns. And this happens a lot. I'm starting to suspect that she's putting the Funyuns in a different spot because she likes them. Dry fly fisher's getting ready to smoke a tenderloin. Yeah, that'll be fantastic. Lunch tomorrow. Wallace flake on top of the ribeye. Nap soon. It's a wonderful life, Jason. Fixing a salad with buffalo courron and homemade dressing. That sounds very good. I don't actually know what buffalo courron is, though. It's because I'm a bit of a lughead. Tuna sandwich for Armchair Piper. That sounds good. I haven't had a tuna sandwich in quite a while. Maybe I'll make one of those. I know we got some tuna. A headache burrito for Jeff. Yeah, I haven't had the Funyuns in a... I don't remember last time I had Funyuns. The shandy gaff of chips. There you go, AA Pipe Man. Yeah, she's got a stash of them somewhere. I think I should find it. Because I'm kind of... it's not that I'm craving them or anything, but it's been so long since I've had them. I'd like to try them. Oh, yeah. Yeah, Captain Crunch was... It's a good point, Chad. It's one of my favorite Family Guy moments. They have Captain Crunch in front of a lawyer, insisting, or in front of a judge rather, insisting that his cereal does not cut the roof of your mouth, which it clearly does. I'm gonna have to do a. I'm gonna have to find the flints. I got some somewhere. Excuse me for a minute while I find some flints. Coke Zero and Bayou Morning Flake and a 673 KS cocktail. The lunch of champions. There you go, Dallas. So courron is a micro-protein. Buffaloed it up yourself. Yeah, tuna melts. Wonderful food. I'll have to look up some courron and give that a try. They're in the last place I looked. Thank you, Jim. That's very helpful. Alright, let's see if I can do this without dropping the flint on the floor. Hey! Now I gotta see if I can put the spring back in without it flying across the room. I think we're back in business. Much better. Jason's asking someone if being a vegetarian is expensive. I wouldn't know because I'm a carnivore. Well, I'm an omnivore. There you go, right from that horse's mouth. So we went to the CSA yesterday to pick up our vegetable share, and it's a farm, and there's actually several farms in this area. There's a pig farm down the road, but right across the street from the CSA farm, which is all what do they call it? That's all vegetables and fruits and things like that. Arable, I think it's called. Right across the street from that is a cattle farm where they grow. I guess they grow cows for meat. It's not a dairy farm. It's a meat farm. And as we're driving in, there's this cow that apparently was separated from the rest of the herd for some reason, because you could see the rest of the herd off in the distance, and there was a fence, and this cow was close to the road, and the poor thing was just bleeding. Like, it sounded almost like a goose honking, but this terrible mournful sound. And my wife said, "Oh, that's so sad. What's wrong with that cow?" And we talked to the woman at the CSA who had nothing to do with the cow, but she grew up on a cattle farm. And she said that they'll do that sometimes when they're separated from the herd, or if it's a cow that has just given birth to a calf and the calf is removed for some reason, they'll do that. And when we were leaving, they had reunited the cows. So the cow wasn't bleeding anymore, and that's bleating, not bleeding, making that noise. And as we drove past, my wife said, "Oh, that's so sad. They're so cute. I feel so bad, but they really taste good." And I said, "Yeah, that's the problem. It's not their fault. They're so delicious." Yeah, Dallas, I've had other people tell me that Kilted Piper Steve's story today is really funny. I haven't had a chance to see it myself, but I'm looking forward to catching that. Kilted Piper Steve has a great channel. He's been putting out some really good videos lately. Jed Nouse, welcome to the Wednesday lunch chat that we don't do every week. There you go. Well, I'm sorry. I really appreciate you guys showing up for it, but it'd be really difficult for me to schedule this every week. Yes, there is a pork slaughterhouse down the road. You're right, Philadelphia Piper. We've actually got a couple of them. We've got Hatfield, which is no longer Hatfield. It's now called the Clemens Group or something like that. And we've got Leidy Meats, which is very close here. I could walk to Leidy. It's one of the things I really like about living in this area is that when we first moved here, there were a lot of farms. There are fewer now because they've all been turned into 55 and older developments, but that's life. But the people just seem to understand better that where the food comes from, and I think that's important. And it's funny, the one meat packing plant, which is Hatfield, I think. Oh, there's another one that used to be called Mopac as well. That's not too far from here. But anyway, the one that was Hatfield. Every once in a while, there's a group of like 4 or 5 people stand outside of it and hold up signs that say "meat is murder" and all that. And nobody pays attention to them. They just stand there for hours on end, and the people driving by don't care because you're dealing with a bunch of people that grew up farming. Oh, that's Jason. That's hilarious. Damper Tantrum, how you doing, Jeff? Good to see you. Jay Mouton, I can imagine she would be mad. So Hatfield is Clemens and Mopac is now JBS. That's right. It's on Allentown Road. And then Leidy is still Leidy, or Leedy. Ah, gotcha, Dry Fly Fisher. I was thinking the answer was delicious. And the other thing that I do a lot, and I don't mean, if you're a vegetarian and you're enjoying that and you think, for whatever reason you think that's important, that's good. There's nothing wrong with that at all. And I'm sure that there's a lot of health benefits to it. But it's foreign to me. I think it's foreign to a lot of people. Because we just grew up with meat as being, a staple. But we gotta keep in mind that it takes a lot of space to raise a cow. It takes a lot of acreage. It takes a lot of soil that grows the silage that the cow eats, and the cow does create a certain amount of waste that needs to be dealt with. And granted, that can be turned into fertilizer and all that. There's a balance in the system, but we're running out of topsoil, and this is something nobody talks about. I mean, global warming, I don't know if that's a thing or not, and I don't care, but we are running out of topsoil. And there's some estimates that in our lifetime, there won't be any topsoil left. And if that happens, there's not going to be any cows. There's not going to be chickens. All these things depend on being able to grow the things that they eat. And we're not going to be able to grow the things that we eat. And this isn't a tree hugger. We got to stop global warming. We got to keep the soda straws out of the ocean. You all know how I feel about that stuff. This is just the soil mismanagement issue, and it's scary, and nobody's talking about it. So if that happens, we're probably not going to become vegetarians, because that'll take just as much land, if not more land, or more soil. We're probably going to start eating bugs. Oh, you work in Hatfield, Philadelphia, Piper. I didn't realize that. And it is nice to get that Good Friday off, for sure. I take Good Friday off every year, but I have to use a vacation day. I get you, Harriet. So it was something you didn't enjoy anyway. Yeah. Yeah, Rich, I think it can go both ways. There needs to be a balance. Oh, phosphate shortage as well. Temper tantrum. Didn't even know about that. All right, Jim, you go ahead and get that freight moving. Have a good one, my friend. Yeah, it is. The topsoil, Jason, is because of the commercial farming practices. That's absolutely true. Soylent Green. I don't know if hydroponics is going to do it for us now, especially if there's a phosphate shortage. Josh Langevin, hello there. Good to see you. We are coming to the end soon, but it's nice that you were able to join us. Corn is another large culprit of topsoil erosion. Yeah, I mean, the topsoil erosion is not being caused by cattle farming, for sure. It's the arable farming and the mismanagement. They used to do crop rotation. They don't do it anymore. There's some dark things being mentioned about population and Soylent Green that I'm staying out of. They use atrazine instead of cover. Is that a fertilizer, Jeff? Yeah, it's an excellent point, dry fly fisher. It'll be interesting to see what happens. It's an herbicide that makes frogs female. Okay. Ah, Josh, you got your matches pipe. Fantastic. There you go, Dallas. We'll just start farming the Arctic Circle. It'll be fine. Hey, Josh, you don't need fancy pipes. You just need pipes that you enjoy smoking. So there has been a big decrease in the, here's something I didn't think I would say today, a big decrease in the frog population. So I'm imagining that that's been linked to, was it atrazine? Nicotine derivatives send the bees nuts. Fancy is just a bonus. That's right, Philadelphia Piper. Well, guys, I am going to have to move on, but I really appreciate y'all coming out for this, and hopefully this will save properly, and will continue to be available as a live stream. But time will tell. I hope it was just a YouTube glitch last time. If so, then I can start to use this on the regular live streams. And this Friday, please tune in, Friday at 8 p.m. Eastern. We're going to be talking to Everett Young, and I know you're going to enjoy that chat. So please try to join me if you can at 8 p.m. Eastern on Friday. I don't know if I'll do this again. I'll do this again. I just I can't commit to it. But if time allows, we'll get back together for lunch and have a chat. Maybe I'll even bring lunch. So y'all take care, and I hope to see you on Friday. Bye now.